He can manipulate his body at will, becoming a living battering ram or an unstoppable force of nature. He commands the very elements, bending fire, earth, and even time to his will. He's a one-man army wielding the power of 6,000 lost souls. You think you know Spawn? Think again. Today we are looking at Spawn's superpowers that you never knew he had. First up, he can modify his own density. Ever casually stopped a speeding car with your bare hands? Yeah, didn't think so, but for Spawn, it's a mundane Tuesday. This guy can manipulate the very fabric of his necroplasmic body, altering his density at will. He can become as ethereal as a wisp of smoke or as immovable as a mountain. Picture this, a hulking 500-pound behemoth suddenly transforming into an 8,000-pound juggernaut of impenetrable muscle and bone. One moment he's dodging bullets, the next he's a living, breathing roadblock, crumpling a speeding car like a discarded soda can. Now let's delve into the truly fascinating aspects of Spawn's physiology. His body isn't merely human, it's forged from necroplasm, a sentient symbiotic substance birthed in the infernal depths of hell. This otherworldly goo defies the laws of nature as we know them. He doesn't require organs, blood, or even oxygen to function. He simply is. But here's where it gets truly bizarre. Despite his demonic transformation, he retains the shell of his human form. A beating heart, a pair of lungs, a tangle of intestines, the whole package. Why? Perhaps it's a subconscious tether to his fading humanity, a haunting reminder of the man he once was. Or maybe it's just a twisted joke of his demonic creators. Whatever the reason, these lingering human elements make him incredibly difficult to destroy. You can sever his limbs, rip out his still beating heart, even obliterate him with explosives. He'll just keep coming back. Remember that time Violator, the demonic clown and Spawn's eternal nemesis, gleefully tore out his heart? Yeah, that didn't quite go as planned. Spawn simply regenerated, good as new, with a renewed thirst for vengeance. It's as if his body possesses a supernatural undo button for any injury, no matter how grievous. Talk about a convenient perk in the chaotic world of demon hunting. But even a powerhouse like Spawn requires a recharge every now and then. In his early days, his methods for replenishing his necroplasmic energy were, let's just say, unconventional. Imagine this, Spawn lurking in a shadowy alleyway, a swarm of insects erupting from his mouth. He'd literally devour these creepy crawlies, draining them of their life force and dark energy. Not exactly a sight for the faint of heart, but hey, desperate times call for desperate measures. He's since evolved, drawing sustenance from the evil that festers within the hearts of men, a more efficient, albeit morally ambiguous, power source. But Spawn's powers extend beyond the realm of human suffering. He also possesses a unique connection to the natural world, a verdant touch that allows him to command the very forces of nature. Thanks to a symbiotic bond with the Emerald Parliament of Greensworld, he can summon thorny vines to ensnare his foes, manipulate the earth to create devastating earthquakes, and even imprison malevolent deities beneath the planet's crust. Remember Urizen, the ancient soul-devouring deity? Spawn single-handedly brought him down, using his newfound powers to entomb him deep within the earth. Talk about a power move. Let's face it, if we didn't need to rely on our legs to get us from one place to another, we would try just about anything else. They did it in Star Trek all the time, and so does Spawn. Well, not all the time, since it apparently doesn't feel very good. Spawn has been known to teleport throughout the series, whenever he needs to either get the hell out of somewhere fast, or get into a place without being seen. He has been shown to do this in more than one way, so it isn't fully clear how he goes about it. In the example pictured here, he turns himself into a sort of snot that shoots through space to his desired location, where he reforms into his real body. In some other instances of teleportation, it appears that Spawn can travel through shadows. He might just pop out of a shadowy place where he wasn't before, or disappear into a shadow and reappear in an alleyway somewhere. Not only can he move from place to place, he can also hop from realities through portals. Frankly, his movement isn't at all limited when he decides he wants to go somewhere. When you get your powers directly from hell, it shouldn't come as a surprise that you have some control over fire. Not only can Spawn breathe hellfire at will, he can also control it on, in, and around him. Spawn's dominance over fire has enabled him to travel into and out of hell on multiple occasions, and he is able to shoot out energy bolts composed of necroplasm, which look a lot like hellfire itself. At one point, to demonstrate his powers, he essentially pukes hellfire just because he can. He doesn't require anything to create fire either, and can manifest it whenever and wherever he pleases. One of Spawn's greatest assets is his costume. A Spawn's costume is a living symbiote that entangles itself with a Spawn's nervous system and feeds on their necroplasm for energy. Al Simmons' suit is called Letha of the 7th House of K and is an immensely powerful entity on its own. With his costume, he can manifest and manipulate chains, spikes, armor, his size, and especially his cape, which is one of his greatest tools. Spawn relies on Letha constantly so that he can retain his powers. The suite even defends him subconsciously. Whenever Spawn is unconscious or just not paying attention to his surroundings, the costume will protect him in a multitude of ways. Now, let's revisit that whole regeneration thing. It's not just about shrugging off injuries. Spawn can literally rebuild himself from scratch. Lost a face in a brutal battle? No problem, he'll just stitch it back together with some necroplasm and a rusty shoestring. This guy prioritizes practicality over vanity. He once regenerated his entire body after being blown to smithereens, simply because he grew tired of existing as a sentient puddle of goo. Talk about dedication to the cause. He can even shape his necroplasm into weapons, armor, and even fully functional wings, allowing him to take to the skies and rain down hellfire upon his enemies. But here's the truly remarkable aspect of Spawn's power. He's not alone in his eternal struggle. He carries within him the tormented souls of 6,000 lost souls, collectively known as the Legion. These are the individuals who perished in the same fateful hour as Al Simmons, unknowingly bound to him in the afterlife. They are his spectral army, his support system, his unwavering connection to the humanity he left behind. He can summon them at will, unleashing a legion of ghostly warriors upon his unsuspecting foes. Sadly, their numbers dwindle with each passing battle. Every fallen soldier from the Legion takes a piece of Spawn with them, a constant and agonizing reminder of the cost of his war against the forces of darkness. And for the grand finale, the pièce de resistance of Spawn's power. Are you ready for this? He can manipulate time itself. Yes, you heard that right. He can literally freeze the world around him, creating a pocket of eerie stillness amidst the chaos of battle. Imagine the possibilities. Rearranging the battlefield to his advantage, outmaneuvering his enemies with precognitive precision, even taking a leisurely coffee break while the world remains frozen in time. This power is so incredibly overpowered that it rarely even made an appearance in the comics, but it serves as a testament to the sheer scope and potential of Spawn's abilities. A chilling reminder that he's not just a Hellspawn, he's a force of nature. So there you have it, a glimpse into the mind-boggling, ever-evolving power of Spawn. He's a demon, a soldier, a reluctant savior, and a walking paradox, but the excitement doesn't stop there. With Todd McFarlane expanding the Spawn universe with new titles like King Spawn, Gunslinger Spawn, and The Scorched, we're seeing a whole new era of Hellspawn rising. These new characters, each with their own unique powers and motivations, are set to challenge the status quo and redefine the boundaries of the Spawn universe. Will these new Hellspawn be allies or enemies to Al Simmons? Will they challenge his authority or seek his guidance?